Carol Zelaya is a Chicago native, and she's the author of the Emily the Chickadee series. The final book of the series is called Emily's New Home, and it illustrates the importance of loyalty and the special bond of friendship. This morning, Carol Zelaya is here to talk about her books for children. Carol, so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
These
nice
are
to be here.
A relatively new series of books for children.
Yes, they just came out last year.
Yeah, and it's called, again, Emily the Chickadee. It's been a really fun thing for me to read here. And just tell us a little bit about the story here, about who Emily the Chickadee is and what you take us through.
Okay, it's actually based on my true experiences, a true story based on my true experiences with a little bird, a little tiny chickadee bird that I named Emily. She made her nest in very unusual places like my flower box, my flower pots, even the artificial wreath on my front door. And this happened over and over, and I started telling people about it, and they said, this is really a special little chickadee you have, because normally they're cavity dwellers. They normally don't make their nest in open areas like trees or flower pots.
Okay, so you had a very social chickadee.
A very social chickadee, and I think she felt very safe, because once she did it, I could go outside, water the flowers with my 3 dogs, and she kept nesting in the same places. So it was a very special bird, a very special story that I wanted to share with children to help them appreciate, you know, nature that could be right outside your window. Yeah,
the illustrations are just beautiful in these 3 books here, and it really brings you, as you told me just a few minutes ago, from spring, summer, and winter, the 3 different stories. So, like, briefly walk us through the different seasons and what you're illustrating through Emily.
In the springtime book, it's Emily builds her nest right outside the little girl's window, and she can observe the bird, you know, having her eggs, the eggs hatching into the young babies, and the mother feeding the babies. There's a lot to be learned for children in the springtime book. The summertime book is about teaching the children how to take care of the birds in their yard so they just don't fly away permanently. Simple things like water is going to really attract the birds more than food, but if food, bird seed, shelter, a birdhouse, and for a little fun, a bird bath to watch them splash and play and cool off on a summer day. And then I always knew there was one more book in the series, but again, I wanted it to be based on something true and real, and I didn't know what that was going to be. 2 years later, we built a home out in the country, and the following spring, my husband opened our front door and said, you have to see this, you're not going to believe it. And so I walked out there and I saw on the front doormat, you know, straw in a pile and some sticking out of the nest. There was a nest in an artificial wreath on my front door. And this had actually happened once before in my previous home, but when it happened again, I said, that's the 3rd story. It ended up being a chickadee nest.
There was a chickadee that maybe followed you after you moved, and that's really what the 3rd story is about. But there's some real interesting and important, profound life lessons here for children, right?
Yes. I mean, a friendship, a bond of friendship could be made with a child, and not just another young child or a cat or a dog. It could even be made with a little bird. And in my stories, the little girl was very attached to Emily, and when she had to move, she was very sad. And even though she was building snowmen and doing fun things where she moved out in the country, she was definitely missing her friend and her yard and all the things that she grew attached to.
Life lessons in here. Carol, thank you so much.
It's
a perfect read for children. And if you would like to read more about author Carol Zelaya and the Emily the Chickadee books, just go to our website, ABC7Chicago.com, and click under See It on TV.